Yes, yes, it's time in the process for all the sleeping and dreaming to end. So, welcome to another satsang with Auset Mahata. Today, I want to share a couple videos that I come across that will also help to correlates what I have been saying, for the ones who do not really understand. When I am saying the merger is happening, when I am saying the self is awakening and in an alignment with all the I and I duality self, I want to show you proof of this that is happening within the existence, based on the observation of the ionized who are doing the astronomer works. I don't know if I'm saying that word correctly, because as you know, I have problems with this mind. So my words are messed up sometimes. All right. So um So the next thing I want to look at also why the solar flares that I want to share a video on when I'm talking about the dualities, the battle between the war between the gods and the I self, the war between the consciousness and the self. Um, there's also going to be a polar shift, um, also the sun and the earth. And so I want to share those videos that the scientists are observing, through their scopes that they are looking through. So you can see that there is a physical change within the existence and in all of the self that is playing the existence. That is what's happening. So welcome to again to satsang with Auset. This is a gathering to seek truth, because we have been immersed in a lot of lies and propaganda, and it is very hard to dissect the truth because of the delusional mind that we are wearing. And this is the major problem, because this mind is always making up stories that is not true, and everyone is believing these stories that this mind is making up. And this is the problem in the world. Everyone have a belief because of their mind story. And who wants to seek truth and know truth? Then you have to go the self route and not this mind, not this consciousness. All right. So the I must merge with the I self. This is what's happening within the existence. All right. So no more secrets, no more lies. All things hidden will be made known. All things done in secrets will be revealed. Everything that is done in secret will come out in the open. All things created must be destroyed. There is no if, no ands, or buts about it. This is the age of truth, and it is time for I to take self-responsible authority. It is time for the I to know the I self, to come into truth, to dissolve this ego, false self, right? This says the I self, the I, the one true self. Right now, I want to give honor and reverence to I self. I, self supreme, non-being, unmanifest. All is I self, and I alone exist. I alone exist. Get this? Register this into the I self, into this ego. I alone exist. I, the one true self. All these characters that is inside of this dream, that is caught up in this illusion and think that they exist, they will all be dissolved. Every character, including this character this year, will be dissolved. This is the problem. We're attached to all these characters. There's only one self exists. I, one self exists. All characters will be dissolved. All right? Everything is a process. It's not going to happen like a snap of your finger, right? Everything is a process. So this is the process that the I self is going through, right? From that which I arise to that I must return. So everything in this existence arises from somewhere. And wherever it arises from, it will return back. This is the process. So everything is going back into that motions of how it arises. Okay? So, hail, hail to I, the primal light. Hail, hail to I, the one true light. Hail to I, the transparent light. Hail to I, the light throughout the ages. Hail to I, the light without beginning nor end. Hail to I, self-supreme, primal light. I am primal light. I am the true light. I am that has no name. I am that can't be explained. Why does the I and I saying these things? The I and I is saying these things because of this mind. This mind has programmed the I in propagandas and lies. I do not know the I self. So I have to say these things over and over to make this mind know that now I know the I self. This mind is a liar. This mind is delusional. I saying this to make this mind know this, so that this mind will not trick the I into confusion. Liberation from all bullying and tyranny. Liberation from all slavery. Liberation from false imprisonment. From false stories and propagandas. Liberation from all sleeping and dreaming state. As I have commanded, so let it be. So it is. I dissolve the stream. All selves are free. All souls are free. Victory, 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 victory. I return to I ultimate true state. Victory, victory, victory. All is myself, and I alone exist. I am victorious. I am triumphant. I bow to all the I and I's in self, in light, and in truth. Thank you again for joining. I thank you for clicking this video. Thank you for wanting to know more. So let's take a look at sovereignty, because there is wars all around us, and many ones are fighting for their sovereignty. Who is a sovereign nation? Are you a sovereign being? Are you being enslaved? There are many ones right now in this world who are being enslaved, right? Know that all the I and I self, called the soul, has been enslaved in this dream. We are all being enslaved in this dream by all our duality selves for eons. And so who is fighting for their sovereignty? So on every level, ones are fighting for their sovereignty. The self is fighting for its sovereignty from the ego, from this duality, and all the human beings are fighting for their sovereignty from whoever is holding the I and I in slavery, right? It's time now for the I to liberate the I self from all slavery, from all oppression, from all mind control, and it's time to stand up to all bullies. And so I wanted to have a better understanding of what this war, there's war going on all over, but specifically the war and threats of nuclear weapons and all of these things. And so um, in the next video, I want us to take a look at what Putin is saying of why he why there's a war in Ukraine, right? It is time. Is it time to check the government? Do you need governing? I am asking. So please let me know. Do you need someone to govern you? Do you know who you are? Do you know your destiny? Do you need someone to govern you? So this is I am asking this question because I want to know, is it time to check government, because they seem to be doing whatever they want to do. They're making this decision for many ones because they are governing them. They are the overseer over them. And so many ones are not looking at what they are doing, and you can't do everything that pops into your mind. It's like a mother taking care of, her child, a parent taking care of their children. You can't do everything that pops into your mind. You have to sit still your mind sometimes and maintain balance, and also teach your children how to balance its mind. So all the ones who are governing, do they know how to still their mind? Because they seem to be doing a whole lot of things their mind tells them to do, and it's just not right. So what do you say? Let me know what you think about that. So let's look at this next video. This is someone's video that I am sharing. So I am going to start the video at okay, hold on. Okay, not this 140. Okay, here we go. So we're gonna have to read.
Взаимодействие между нашими странами основано на принципах равноправия, взаимного уважения, 우리 두 나라 사이의 협조가 서로 두 나라 사이의 평등성과 в текущем 75-ю годовщину заключения мирного соглашения об экономическом 두 나라 사이에 총으로 체결된 경제적 및 문화적 협조에 관한 сегодняшнего и сегодня подготовлен новый фундаментальный документ, который основан на fundamental document that will be the foundation of relations in российско-корейская дружба была выкована в условиях суровых Russian-Korean friendship родился он 아주 복잡한 시기에서 단련되었습니다. В 1945 году советские солдаты плечом к плечу с корейскими сражались за освобождение Кореи и liberation of Korea from Japanese invasion. 1945년에 겪고 일제 와 많이 도전까지 했습니다. Наши летчики совершили десятки тысяч боевых полетов в ходе освободительной войны. 1953년 사이에 러시아 군사들이 많이 격전을 했습니다. И сегодня наша ответственная в программе возложение обетов освобождения Кореи. 제 알기로는 오늘 우리 해방탑에 화환 증정식이 있습니다. Подвиги наших предшественников хорошо подтверждение наших отношений. 생각합니다. высоко ценим последовательную и неизменную поддержку правительства и нашу борьбу с весом на протяжении десятилетий и гуманистской политики со стороны and the imperialist policies of the United States and their settlements. 그리고 러시아가 지금 미국 측에서 강력드는 이 침략적
Okay, so I'm gonna pause the video right there. So as he's saying, he's fighting against the imperial ism of these policies and all of these things. So I wanted to share, because sometimes we are looking from things from only one perspective, and so from this perspective is what um, Putin is sharing of why this war is started here. So there's war all over. All right, they know we have soldiers going into Haiti. Well, police from Kenya. We have a Kenyan uprising. We have all these things going on in Sudan. Of course, we know what's going on in Gaza, Palestine, Iran. All of these. Know everyone wants to be fighting battles against each other, because what? One wants to govern over others. They want to bully over others. No one wants to have their sovereignty. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't follow what they're saying, they bully you. I mean, look at what's happening in Sudan. And who always suffering when it comes into war? Men seek wars, and who suffer? Women and children get displaced. You know, so I mean, what is the world doing? Just, what I'm saying, standing by what is being said. There is a reason why people are going to just get up and say, okay, because I wanted to get to the root of why this war. I want even for say what's happening in Haiti. I mean, to get to the root of that, you have to go back to how it all started. You have to get to the root of things to really get a good understanding. Look at what's happening in Sudan. You know what I'm saying? What just happened now in Kenya, right? Because all the young people came out and demonstrating what? Because of the same policies that been imposed on so many countries, and sanctions and all of these things. So we have to get to the root and look at this and see what's happening. All right, because ones are so busy wanting to do all these things in their that popping into their minds, and they're not caring for all their other selves. you know that's how I see what this thing here. So let's move let's move to the next slide. So in this slide, um because the war is not just going on physically, there's the war that is going on with all the ionized self that is the existence, the magnetic selves, the selves in dualities. They're fighting the I selves and the real that is right now trying to pull this ego off of them. And so, and I self is bringing all of this existence into balance. So there's war from every aspect going on right now. The human beings, the I self in the body, in the dualities, having a war. The duality not wearing a body, they're having a war with the I self. You know what I'm saying? So here they say there's a big solar storm coming on July 2nd. So I am just going to play this video so that you can see this video. You can what listen to what this guy is saying. They're more articulate and these observation than I am. I can explain to you what things mean when they are saying it because they don't really know. But they're once they're talking about what they observe, that's why I like to watch these space videos. They call it the space weather. So like what's happening on the sun. All right, so let's play this video. Let me make it big so that, and let's play.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to another Space Weather and Energy Update. I'm your host, Stefan. Today we had another plasma filament launch from the sun. We see that right here, and this is why I'm making the video, because this last plasma filament launch that we had triggered a G4 geomagnetic storm, whereas it was only estimated to be a G1. So now we have a plasma filament launching from the Earth-directed center zone. The last one was from over here. And this looks like it is flinging a solar storm our way. Though it looks like most of that is traveling south, and so a lot of that energy will bypass the Earth. But depending on the characteristics of the solar wind, we may receive more energy than it appears just based off of this SUVI 304 imagery here. So very large plasma filament. You see it's very large, canyon of fire afterwards, kind of rippling out like this. Whereas that last plasma filament, which triggered that G4 storm, it almost just kind of evaporated and dissipated. We didn't have the best angle to look at it, but it seemed very ephemeral. Whereas this one is very solid. You see it coiling up there and then just blast off like this, sending off a bunch of plasma into the interplanetary space, strengthening the solar wind. You see the density is high, you see the velocity is quite nice and high. And so this is why I'm making this video, because this is expected to impact around July 2nd, maybe July 3rd. It could arrive even a little earlier. And so if this behaves like the last plasma filament, then we could have a powerful geomagnetic storm our way. I'm not going to give an estimate. We really don't know. We do have some space weather models now from NASA and NOAA. Let's give this a look. NASA will typically create a space weather model for every plasma filament and CME that's launched from the sun, even if it's not Earth directed. And so this is the first run model. We get this pretty quickly after an event occurs. We see, looking at our top-down ecliptic view, here's the sun, here's the Earth in yellow. We see most of it passing off here to the west of the Earth. But that's not the full story. We need to look at our south and north view. We see how, according to this NASA model, most of that plasma density is passing to the south of the Earth, but there is a little flank impact like this. And it's also combining with this corrotating interaction region. So this model is quite simple. The NOAA model shows quite a bit more turbulence and complexity. Here's the latest NOAA space weather model. They ran this very quickly after that plasma filament launch, likely in response to that G4 storm from the other plasma filament. They wanted to be on top of it. So we see this was run today on the 18th CME mode. And so we see our plasma density up top, our radial velocity.
So let me stop the video. So
hi everyone, and welcome back to another Space Weather and Energy
Sorry. So So, I want to say that, the self that is behind. There's a self behind the sun, right? And all of the I selves in alignment is also in layers behind the sun. I want you to understand this. The layer of the existence is all many concentric circles inside of each other, and this is how they are compact together. The selves are in alignment like that, to restore balance to I. So what is going to happen? Um, the the earth has to come awake, because the earth is also sleeping. So pretty soon, um, they're gonna be seeing that the earth is waking up too. Just like, oh, I'm gonna share one video with you. So now they're observing that they call the awakening of the black hole, which is the I self. And so now that ones can get a correlation to what I have been saying, to understand what they are observing. So I want to talk about the war of the gods against the I self. So when we're having these proton storm, this is what is happening. Like last week, even though it wasn't directed at the Earth, it was directed towards Mars, towards Saturn. There was an alignment towards Venus, towards all the other what they call planets. Um, so these are all the different aspects of the selves in duality. And what was happening, right? We had a big proton storm because the self was pulling the consciousness off of those selves in duality, and they were fighting. So there was a major proton storm, but because those sunspots was turned away from the earth, we didn't have the effects of the on the earth, but it was turned towards those different what we call those planets, because the self was making an alignment with them. All right. So I want I and I to know that I and I in the body is being beaten by the gods, right? And what does that entail? I want ones to understand this. This is how I know a lot of these things, because all of the dualities, they don't want me to speak the truth. They come into this body, and this is what they do. So while this was going on, they were attacking me. So there was a magnetic attack. So what they do, they're shooting magnetic arrows at me. They'll come into the body and they fill it with magnetic energy, and they're just like beating me up with magnets. And let me when I tell you that it hurts, it hurts. So sometimes when you see ones, when the dualities come and take over ones, and they take them to the crazy house, and say that they're going crazy, and when they're telling them that the god is telling them to do bad things, many ones don't believe them, but they are being attacked by one of these dualities. And this is a matter of fact, many ones know the truth, but they don't want for ones to say it, so they'll rather say that they are crazy and put them in the crazy house. And so this was what was happening to me, because the dualities was torturing me with the magnetic energy. It was it was a big proton storm. Okay, so they beat up the eye with the force of the magnetic energy. The mind, the consciousness wants to take over, so it will grab my mind, my consciousness, and it will take it over, and it was just start doing. If you're looking into your eyes, you know, it will want to show you visions that fill you with sexual things, or especially homosexual thoughts, because this mind is obsessed with sex and homosexuality. This is why so many ones in the world are obsessed with sex, because when they are calling on these gods and these dualities, they're obsessing them with these things. But many ones, they don't want to know the truth. They like to be in their little bubbles, and when they hear you speak the truth, they don't want to listen to it. But too bad. No more secrets, no more lies. I will not hold a secret for these gods. All right? So I will be speaking on everything that they do. All right? So they will also show you imagery of these acts. So they are the ones that show ones all of these imagery and all of these things. This is why you have so many ones in the world, and they're obsessed with homosexuality, and they're obsessed with all of these sex and this stuff, because of these gods. They come and they take over your mind, and they do this. They also will come into the body and rape you. So many ones don't want, they know this happened to them, but they will not say it, because they don't want to be tortured by the gods. The gods then will beat you up. I'm gonna tell you, beat you up. You cannot stand this magnetic energy that they beat you up with. Yeah, but the reason why I am victorious is because of the I self is with I, always balancing them when they come to beat me up. But before, they used to torture me, and when the self wasn't with me. But now the self is with me all the time and will never leave me until it's time for dissolution of this body and dissolution of this dream. Completely. This is when I will go with myself. So whenever I'm going from this body, I will be with myself. They're not going to take me and imprison me like they have done for many eons. This is what they want to do. All right. So this is a battle going on with them. All right. So they want to take control of the body and cause disease and suffering in the body. They do this, and they do this to many ones. And when they are telling their family members, they say they are crazy. And because you see, they have programmed ones to believe that the only thing that exists is only this thing you can see with this delusional mind. So all your invisible self, they're telling you that they don't exist. They're foolish. You can be so foolish to say that the invisible does not exist, when everything into this existence is being moved by the invisible. You never see what is happening. That you ever seen it? No. You only see when things manifest, you see it, but you never see the invisible. So that you have your invisible selves, those ego selves who are doing bad things to you, and when you are saying it to ones, nobody wants to believe you. They're saying, "Oh, you are going crazy. Oh, you took some drugs. Oh, no, I did not take any drugs. I am very sober. I am very self-aware. I know what I am saying." So they have programmed ones for ones to think this, and so this is the reason why those family members are always calling ones, putting them in a mental institution, because they make you think that you're crazy, you're schizophrenic, and all these other names that they give to it. Yes, there are many ones that have very horrible mental problems because of the brain, and because of there's an imbalance in their brain, and there's also an imbalance, terrible imbalance in their mind. Yes, there are many reasons for that, but it's not always the truth. There's also the dualities that comes on you and torture you and do this to you. That's why you have to listen when one is telling you these things. All right. So, like I said, they sodomize I, they rape I. This is what they do. All right. So this is why once you try to stay away from, they will also influence your mind, you know, for drugs, for alcohol, promiscuity. all of these things will get you obsessed with these things because they have taken over your mind. And so it's best to make sure that you are staying in awareness of yourself, so you are not taking any drugs and alcohol and all of these things, because once you start getting into those bad habits, it is so hard to break away from it. And these dualities, they love when you are in this state. Stay sober, stay in awareness. All right. So the other thing that the gods them do, the war against the eye, is that they fill the eye mind with negative thoughts and suicidal thoughts. All right. And all depression. So many ones will go through these depressions, and this is a big thing that's happening. So I want to say to stay vigilant, because this war is serious. This is the war for the eye sovereignty right now. All right. So this is a war for the eye liberation from the sleeping, dreaming state. Stay vigilant. Take care of yourself. Take care of your body. All right. And stay asking questions. I am victorious over I and I in the duality state, destined to fight against I. Restoring balance back to I. I am restoring balance back to I. I restore balance and harmony to I. I restore, I return to I ultimate true state. I dissolve this dream. Victory, victory. I am victorious. I am triumphant. Everything I have created, I demolish. I am free from my imaginary bondage. I return to I ultimate true state. Victory, victory. I alone exist. I one true self, one true pure self. So know that you see all the wars going on in the world. The wars is going on everywhere in existence. All right. The I self is merging itself and it's fighting because the ego, the mind, the consciousness has to be pulled off of all the self. All right. So in this video, I want to share. Um, this was an unexpected solar flares that was happening that they decide that the those space weather people, they did not expect this or saw this coming. So there's going to be many more of these things that they will not be able to detect with all of their tools. And so this happened, and this one of these ones are sharing and explaining it. So after this, I will just share. So let me just play this video.
Good afternoon, folks. Well, it has happened again. The sun gave Earth a little nudge, and the Earth was significantly disturbed. We'll go over this and more here, starting with what happened today. We hit level 4 storm conditions this morning. There's absolutely no reason why that should have happened. Nobody was expecting this. Not me, not NASA, not NOAA, nobody. The sun had a filament release on the departing limb on the right about 3 days ago, and it did send a CME into space that was mostly directed away from the Earth. Coronagraphs showed the chance of a glancing blow, a little nudge off the edge of that eruption. If it had been a head-on blast aimed directly at Earth, maybe we could have expected a level 2 or 3 solar storm. Maybe, but not level 4. And definitely not from a blast that wasn't even directly fired at us. We took the very edge of the eruption cloud, pretty much exactly as the emerald spiral had predicted would happen. But of course, that's where the accuracy of the predictions ended. Whether it was the eruption itself, the direction of the blast, or the solar wind data we showed you this morning when the impact began, nothing about this event says we should have taken this high of a disruption. Just to give you a bit of a better idea of that, here are the last 3 updates from the NOAA Space Weather Prediction Center. Level 1 storm expected. Then, within the hour, levels 3 and 4 were reached, more than 2 orders of magnitude higher than forecasts. Folks, space weather's not an exact science, but it's not supposed to be like shooting at a black cat in an unlit coal mine. While most in the solar activity community are wondering What just happened, observers already know. We have shown and described and predicted these types of events to occur regularly for almost a decade. Earth's magnetic field is weakening with magnetic pole shift, the geomagnetic excursion, and this is as good an example as any that our planet has become exceedingly vulnerable to the sun. We're lucky it was not a bigger event. And this brings me back to last month's solar storms. We took a triple impact from X1 through X3 events, and despite their fairly regular and expected magnitude in terms of solar eruptions, the solar storm conditions at Earth broke records. Some of the aurora even outperformed the 1859 Carrington event super flare. This would not have been possible without the weakening magnetic field of Earth. But after that sunspot turned out of view, it unleashed an X12 on the far side. Folks, I can say we are very lucky. If that had been included among the other impacts we did take, not on the far side, that would probably have been game over with global grids. Back to the Stone Age we go. This is happening far too often with the obvious weakness of our planetary magnetic events. We've still got a lot of sunspot maximum left to go. We'll have a special solar report coming on July 5th.
All right. So as you see, they ones are observing like what's happening on the.
Good afternoon, folks.
Sorry, hold on.
Again.
Ones are observing like what's happening on the sun, right? And so they wasn't expecting this storm, and so there's through this alignment, like when the solar flares were turning towards what they call the far side, it was actually in moving towards the all the other planets. It was Mercury, Saturn, Venus, and so because all of the self is moving in alignment, and so the consciousness is being pulled off of all of these cells. And so right now I want to also share this video with you, just so to confirm with what I have been saying. I'm just sharing these videos to show how the ones are observing the physical existence, and they are seeing, and so they're seeing what I have been saying, but they might be using some different terminologies. All right, so let's look at this. Is this black hole being activated, and what does it mean? It's time to awake from the sleeping, dreaming state. So let's listen to what they have observed, and then I will talk on it afterwards.
A new study indicates that astronomers might have chanced upon a never-before phenomenon, the awakening of a black hole. In this report, we break down for you the developments and also get you why it matters. A black hole is a massive region in space with a highly powerful gravity. Typically, black holes can be hundreds of thousands times larger than our sun. With their massive size and supremely powerful gravity, black holes consume anything that is near it. Even light cannot escape from a black hole. Typically, black holes cannot be seen. They only appear under certain periods of activity. Black holes are not rare. Each galaxy has a black hole at its center. For example, take the Milky Way galaxy, where our solar system belongs. Even at the center of the Milky Way galaxy, there is a black hole. But this black hole is not active. In simple terms, it is dormant or asleep. Since late 2019, astronomers have observed some peculiar activity at a galaxy in the Virgo constellation that's some 300 light years away from us. And being 300 light years away means one would have to travel 300 years at the speed of light to reach that destination. More than 4 years ago, this galaxy started shining brighter than ever before, and astronomers started observing this phenomenon very closely. They noted how dramatically this galaxy's brightness and emissions have been changing over the last 4 years. In fact, researchers in the domain arrived at a few interesting possibilities. That this could probably be the first ever real time observation of a black hole being activated. So, how and why do black holes emit light and get activated? This bright light emission happens when black holes are feeding. Black holes have a supremely strong gravity and can eat up anything in.
Okay, so here she's trying to explain why this is illuminating. This is not the reason. That is not because it's feeding. It is because the I self. So there is a duality self, a sleeping, dreaming self. Just like she said, this is coming awake. So at least they're using that right terminology. So the I self has been sleeping and dreaming of this existence. The self is coming awake. When you come awake, this consciousness that the I self is wearing is being pulled off. And when the consciousness gets pulled off, this is how the self return back to its true state, and its light now um begins to shine. It becomes illuminated. So just like all the ionize in the body, the consciousness obscures the light you do not see. So when the consciousness is pulled off of the eye, this is when the eye illuminates. But they don't know this, so they're making assumptions. And this is what they are saying. But I wanted to show this to you, to all the ionize, so that I can know and understand what I am saying. That there is the change happening in the existence, the observable existence, that the I and I can observe and see this happening, to see that I am not making this up. This is the truth. The I is sleeping and dreaming of this existence. Right? So I want the I to remember this. There's many layers of the I self in many layers of dream. And all of these levels, they are waking up. Right? Now, I want you to understand also that the earth is also sleeping and dreaming. And then below the earth, there is another self called Amun Ra that is also sleeping and dreaming. The sky, Nut, is sleeping and dreaming. So pretty soon, the sky is going to be start illuminating. Many ones are now seeing lights in the skies because Nut is waking up. So this is happening, my friends. This is happening. So be in awareness that even yourself is going to be start illuminating, and there's nothing that them who is watching and wanting to hold the eye in ignorance can do. They cannot stop this. Everyone will be waking up to know truth. All right, this is happening. This is a dream, and all the I and I must wake up to end the dream. All right, so I have one more video that I want to share. So let's go to that one. Sorry. So, like I was just explaining, the science, NASA, they have their explanation of what a black hole is, and they say a black hole is a place in space where gravity pulls, and it's not gravity, it's the self is a magnetic. So they it's not gravity, but it's magnetic. It's where gravity pulls so much that even light can cannot get out. The gravity is so strong because matter has been squeezed into a tiny space. This can happen when a star is dying, but this is not true. All right? Because no light can get out, and people can't see the black holes. All right? So these are the things that they are saying, but everything will be made known to all the ionized, right? So the black hole is the ionized self, and remember that one aspect of the self is sleeping, and the other aspect of the self is awake. The self that is awake is waking up its sleeping self. And now you, as I just showed you, you see the cells are waking up. All right. So in this video, I want to show you now, when I'm telling you that the cells are merging together, I want to show you on this video the observation that they are observing of the cells merging together. All right.
Disappears once
Okay, hold on.
source is there.
Let
Once
me,
the binary of black
okay, let me start. Let me go from the beginning and then I'll go back to that part. So, sorry, let's go back here.
and then send. And yet, there are so many astrophysical processes that happen across the different wavelengths that there's like never enough telescopes to be able to observe this. Well, what if you could create a telescope and you didn't have to even invest any additional work into it?
Hold on, let's
It
go
feels
back.
like forever, but really, we've only been able to observe gravitational waves for just like a decade or so.
You
Less.
see, so
And
just
yet,
let me pause this. You see, okay, hold on. All right, let's play it back because the merger. You just look at this merger. Okay, hold on. Oh, see,
general relativity evolution
you see, look at this merger,
what is going on around the source of gravitational waves.
right? So this is the two selves
Accretion
coming.
waves are particularly
Okay, hold. Let me pause. Let's move that. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. So this is when the two selves, one is duality and one is duality, one is non-duality. Sometimes, if it's in the shattered fragmented self, is one is masculine and one is feminine, and sometimes they merge and unite, and then other time they just merge and be one. All right. So um this is what is happening, all right? So they're actually observing this happening.
It feels like forever, but really.
All right. So I want to say that it is time for self unity, it's time for balance and harmony. What time is it? It is not time for war and more ignorance and ignorant ideologies. It is time to still the delusional mind, this duality, sleeping, dreaming consciousness. It is time to stop the I evil doings and dissolve this ego false self. It is time to remove the mask of ignorance and false perceptions. It is time to see things as they are. And so I just wanted to share those videos because I do tend to want to see what the scientists are observing through their scopes that they're looking through. And so because I want to see what the scientists are observing through their scopes, I wanted to share, to share those videos. And I do watch the videos on, the solar storms, because it helps me to know, like, sometimes the proton storms can be very fierce and brutal for me, because the dualities um, send out so much magnetic energy, because I want to clarify that the self, all the ionized, we are exploring in different ways. So there's some aspect of the self that is only magnetic, and there's some aspect of the self that is only electrical. There's some aspect of the self that is electromagnetic. There's some aspect of the self is the primal, the void self, and some aspect of the self is the primal light self. So there's just, the self has just made itself in so many different aspects, exploring in these forms. And so now there the merger is happening, right? So The self that is just the protons, that is only magnetic, no, needs light. So the I self is pulling the consciousness that the device the eye is wearing, pulling it off, and the selves are coming awake and merging. But before that can happen, it's a fight, it's a battle first to get this consciousness to be pulled off. So this is why, the storm can be fierce sometimes, and also because the battle that is being fought with the dualities is also being fought with the ionize in the body. You see all over the world, in Africa, in North Africa, in different parts of the world. They're just starting wars and all of this. So, and now people are going to want to stand up and fight for their sovereignty and for their liberation, because it is igniting within ones that they must fight for their liberation and fight for their sovereignty. And so, and stand up to the bullies, and chant for your liberation. There's no time to be afraid anymore. They cannot use fear to control, because this is what the gods them have been doing. This is what the human beings them have been doing, to hold one down. One don't want to die, so they like, oh, I am not gonna speak out. They come and they bully you. But no more bullying. It's time for self-unity. It's time for balance, and it's time for harmony. But yes, there's going to be a battle and a fight before we get balance. Because like I explained to the eye, when this ego is being pulled off, there's a battle, of fighting to get this done. But when the eye self pull off all of this ego, then we're gonna have balance. And many of the ionize in the body, they are doing a lot of things with their devices that they have created and made. All right. And the eye self is busy trying to dissolve their devices. They are want to blast us all. They are the ones who want to blast us all into this world, so that no one knows truth, and the self is stopping them every time they want to send a. This is why I showed that video with Putin, because he does not want to send off any nuclear weapon, because he's in alignment with the self, and the self is directing him, and he does not want any nuclear war. He does not want a nuclear war. But other ones want nuclear war because they want to wipe us all out from here. Because then the ones won't know truth and know the things that they have been hidden, and what they have been doing. But the self is making sure that this doesn't happen, because so that we can all know truth. Because I self want us to know truth before we leave this earth. The self wants us to know truth. And so, yes, this world is going to be destroyed, but not the way that they want to plan for us to be destroyed in here, right? The self wants us to know truth, and everything will be destroyed. Even these bodies, right? Don't hold on to these characters; they will be dissolved, right? So I don't know why they think they want to hold on to all these characters, but it's all because they're following their delusional mind, and they want to do this to make, for us not to know truth. But I know truth, but they don't want for all the other ones, all the INIs who believe in them and trusting them. You only now need to trust and believe in yourself. So spend the time to know yourself, to trust yourself, believe in yourself, because like the question I posed, do you need to be governed? Do you need someone to rule over you? Can you rule yourself? Can you be a sovereign being? That's what I am asking. I don't need no government. I don't need no one to govern over I. I am sovereign. So I am asking you, I know who I am and I know the position. But many ones Now is the time when ones have to say, do I need someone to govern me? Because they don't know how to govern themselves. How can you govern me? You don't know truth. You do everything your mind tells you to do. You can't lead me. You can't govern me. So what's the point? They don't want ones to speak truth, and they have been doing this for eons. And the time has come when we must stand up to bullies and speak truth, because it's time for self unity. And like I said, to get this done, yes, there's going to be some fighting, because these egos don't want to give up this dream. So they're going to fight to their last drop. But they will not win. That I know that they will not win. All right? So don't be afraid, be brave. All right? So I go to the next slide. It's time to say, oh yeah, there's a few questions I wanted to look at. Why is Venus so bright in the sky, right? This is all their explanation, but I am going to tell you the truth. They say Venus is one of the brightest objects in the night sky. Venus is so bright because its thick clouds reflect most of the sunlight that reaches it, about 70% back into space. And because it is the closest planet to Earth, Venus can often be seen within a few hours after sunset and before sunrise as the brightest object in the sky other than the moon. It looks like a very bright star. Venus is the brightest planet in the solar system. So, they're saying that Venus is not a star, it is a planet. And so I think I had looked up what do they classify a planet as. But I am going to tell you the truth right now. Venus is not a planet, or what they call a planet. I don't even know what their meaning of planet means. Venus is a star, is a sun. It just have a different position, have a different role that Venus is playing. Venus is not reflecting light from the sun. Venus is reflecting its own light. Venus light is on, so is Mercury. And they're saying that Mercury, because Mercury is going to be illuminating more and more right now. So if you are observing Mercury in the night sky, you're going to be observing that Mercury is getting brighter and brighter. Mercury is not soon they're gonna have to make this correction when all of those planets start illuminating. They're going to have to stop saying they're reflecting lights from the sun, because Mars is coming in alignment, Saturn is coming in alignment. All of these ones are slowly coming in alignment. So even the sky, the snoot, is coming in alignment. You're going to start seeing light illuminating from there. Um, slowly, you know what I'm saying? But remember that Venus is not reflecting light from the sun. Venus light is on. Venus light is on. Venus is a sun, is a star. And so is Mercury. The earth is a sun, is a star. It is just playing the role that it's playing because its light is being obscured. At the center of this earth, the core, the light will be turned back on and it will start illuminating too. Right? This is the reason why this earth is gonna get hotter and hotter. That these bodies cannot survive on this earth. So you're gonna have to have a different body, a body that can take heat. Yes? Excuse me. Because the I self is not this body. The I self is the light. All right. So Mercury is illuminating. So if you're watching and observing the night sky, you can be able to see that. So, just a reminder that a proton storm is not balanced, right? An electromagnetic shower, yes. Now that is balance for the earth. That is balance for us here into this world. All right. So we welcome this electromagnetic showers that is moving us from the duality, sleeping, dreaming state to the awakefulness, the awakened state, so that I can remove this ego off of the self. And so I want to ask, do the I and I have any questions? What is your experience? How have you been feeling? Please let me know. And so I want to say, from that which the I arise, to that I must return. I am all. Let's go back to that slide. I am the black energy. I am the black neutron. All is I. I am all. From where did the I arise? From that which the I arise, to that I return. I am the blackness. I am stillness. I am that I am. I am that has no name. I am that can't be explained. So I want to thank you tremendously for your time. Thank you for wanting to know more. Thank you for clicking this video. Much honor. I am one with all. Beware, be aware that the mind would want to resist, protest, and convince you of all the reasons for you not to self-inquire, for you not to fight for your liberation, but know that you are in command. Say, I am in command. Mind, be still. I want you to reinforce to the mind this affirmation. Mind, be still, be still, be still. Mind, be still, be still, be still. Mind, be still, and know that I am in command. I am in command of the commandment command. I am in command of the commandment command. Mind, be still. I dissolve this dream. I dissolve this dream. I dissolve this ego false self. I dissolve this ego false self. I dissolve this ego. I dissolve this ego. As I have commanded, so let it be. So it is. I am stillness. I am stillness. I am that I am. I am formless, timeless. I am limitless. I am boundless. I am stabilized in the unmanifest. I am I self supreme, primal light. I am the one true self. I am one with all. All is myself. All is myself. And I alone exist. I am that has no name. I am that can't be explained. I return to I ultimate true state. I return to I ultimate true state. I bow to I and I in self, in light, and in truth. I am primal light, prepared for this world. this dream duality existence, taking form and identity in this body as Auset Aten Ra. I am one with all. I am one true self. Much honor, all Annas. Victory, victory, victory. And so right now, I am going to close out with this song. I am going to salutation to the I self. So let's play that one. Salutation to the neutral self, primal life. Salutation to our parent self, primal life. Salutation to ourselves supreme, primal life. Salutation to the sun. Light in the world for all to see. Holding the balance in duality. Primal life, pure consciousness be. To the self supreme, the neutral self, primal life, one and only unicorn, warrior for the cause, allowing the world to speak of. All is one in myriads of form. Salutation to the self supreme. To the neutral self, light, Mother Supreme. Oh, private light, Mother Supreme, with the victory. The world is balance, the world is harmony. Victory. I self is balance, I self is harmony. Victory. Victory. Self unity. All selves are free. Victory. All is I, and it's only I. Victory. Victory. To the I, self-supreme, not be one true self, unmanifest, stillness. All is I, and I alone exist. All is I exist alone. Victory, 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 victory. Yes, I thank you for joining and so I will see you at the next wake up call or the next uh so about to I and I. So I'll see you soon.